Hey, 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 it's Carmina with the Fit and Healthy After 40 Club. I am so happy and grateful that you're spending time with me today. Thank you so much. I know there are so many entertaining things that you could be doing right now, and the fact that you've chosen to spend a few minutes with me means the world. So today I have a message for you. And that message began because I was saying to myself this morning, I was kind of saying I'm sorry to the plants that you see in the background here, because I know that they're going to die kind of soon. I mean, that's the one thing about myself. Like, I have a brown thumb. If anybody was born with a brown thumb, it's me. Like, I cannot keep plants alive. I keep buying them. Sometimes I get discouraged and then I stop buying them for a while because their fate is always the same. And I had to stop myself because I was like, but wait a second. Why am I writing myself off right off the bat? You know, just because, hey, Carla, thanks for joining me today live. So appreciative of that. So I was talking about my brown thumb and how the plants, the poor plants that you see behind me, that their time on this earth is probably short-lived. If you have any tips at all to help me keep them alive, I welcome them because that is one area where I have zero confidence in myself. But I mean, I joke about that, but the sad reality is that so many of us, myself included, count ourselves off. We write ourselves off without even giving ourselves a chance to try something. And it's interesting because this morning I got an email from a subscriber, and the first sentence was, she was responding to an email I sent yesterday about doing the challenge. She was like, I would love to do it, but I can't walk right now. And for a moment, I almost bought her story. Because my first instinct was like, oh my God, I am so sorry. What happened? That's where I was going. And then I stopped myself. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is the story that she sold herself and that I'm about to confirm for her? Hold on, let me see. Carla says, okay, I'm glad to see that I'm not the only one with brown thumbs. Yeah, poor plants. I apologize to plants whenever I buy them because I know it's going to be short lived. But so to come back to that email, and I was this close to replying with, like, I'm so sorry. And then I stopped myself and I'm like, well, I wouldn't be the coach that she expects me to be if I just bought into her story. Because here's the thing, right? We we make stories about everything. We make stories about why we can or cannot do something, about what people are going to think of us if we do X, Y, and Z. And then we buy into the story, and that stops us short from moving forward. Well, I want to tell you about the enemies at the gate. The enemies at the gate are fear and doubt. Fear and doubt are always, they're sitting on your shoulders, and they're always telling you how things will go wrong, how you can't do this because you've never done it before. What makes you think you're going to be successful this time around, right? And we're so accustomed to them being there, to them riding shotgun with us, that we never really stop, or at least most of us don't stop to question, hey, what lets me know that this is true? Have you ever stopped and asked that question? Like, if you're about to start something new, or you're considering starting something new, and it's normal. You're going to have all those feelings of like, I don't know if I should. I don't know if this is the right time. I have so many things going on right now, and my favorite, I have to think about it. That one always cracks me up because I'm like, what do you respectfully, what do you have to think about? If you're on a call with the expert who is telling you what the recommended course of action is, what are you really going to think about? And again, I say that respectfully, right? Because I understand sometimes you need to sit with something, but let's be honest. 99.9 of the time, it's not like you're going to go on the internet and do research. It's not like you're going to ponder the philosophical aspect of the question. You're not. You're just buying yourself time, right? And giving fear and doubt an opportunity to talk you out of something that could be good for you. Now, is everything going to work out the way you imagine? No, not necessarily, but that's not the point. You see, I think we let fear and doubt get in the way because we have unrealistic expectations of how things should be, right? So if I'm going to take the challenge because that's all that's on my mind these days. If I'm doing the challenge, well, and to go back to that example that subscriber this morning, because there was one out of the three things that she couldn't do, which I totally understand, she couldn't walk, right? But there's two other things that she could do. So she is denying herself an experience ahead of time on the basis of a one thing that she cannot do. See, the thing is with fear and doubt, we think that if they are present, it means that it's a bad idea. It's not what that means. Fear and doubt, I think, okay, you and I have an understanding. Fear and doubt are never going away. Never. It's always going to be part of your journey. The difference between the people who are successful and those who never try anything is the people who are successful, they acknowledge that fear and doubt are present, but they put them in the back of the car where they belong. Like, yes, they're going to come for the ride. That's okay. But they're not driving. They're going to be in the back, right? And I want to share with you something that I picked up right before this. I started shooting this. It's a little book that I have. I forgot I had it. Keep calm and trust God. And one of the passage is by William Danforth. And he says, I maintain that you are a better, more capable person than you have demonstrated so far. The only reason that you're not the person you should be is you don't dare to be. And I love that because I opened it up by chance on that page, and I thought it was so appropriate to what I wanted to talk about today that I'm like, I have to read this to you. Yeah, because we don't dare to be, right? And the crux of the issue, I think, is that we underestimate what we can do, but we overestimate the time that it's going to take, right? Because we're like, well, I don't know if I can do this. Well, who says it has to be done in X amount of time? Okay, so college is 4 years. Some people take 8. Some people do it in 3. But who decided that college had to be 4 years? Do you fail because you did it in 5 or 8? No. The point is, you got to the end and you got the degree, and you're considered a success regardless of the time that it took you. Right? And it's same thing. Because this week we were talking about weight loss, right? Same thing for weight loss. Are you only a success in losing weight if you do it in an extraordinary short amount of time? No. Doesn't matter how long it takes. If it takes a year, 2 years to lose 50, 100 pounds, at the end of the 2 years, will you care? No, you won't care. You will care that you got there, but the journey is the reward, because we get so anxious and so like, oh, I have to do this by X amount of time. But why? Who said that? You determine what your success looks like. If it takes you 10 years to do something that somebody does in two, well, hoop de doo, good for them. You don't know what their story was, right? Because so often we compare our beginning to somebody else's middle, or somebody's already towards the end of the race. You don't know all the stuff that they had to go through to get to that point. And it may seem like they're like shooting, like they're a shooting star, and they have overnight success. But I promise you, if you go and you look in the backstory of every success story, there was a lot of time, there was effort involved, there was persistence involved, and the journey is not going to look the same for everybody. So don't write yourself off yet. Okay. Stay in the course because you are so worth it. The journey is so worth it. The person that you're becoming in the process of going for your goal is so worth it. And the happiness is not reaching the goal. Happiness and success is you being on that journey little by little and making your way through. Okay. So I want to leave you with the Jimmy Eat the World song. This is where I got the title for this episode, shall we call it? Go listen to it. It's like everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. Just keep doing what you're doing with what you have. Do what you can with what you have where you are, and everything will be all right. Okay. And whenever fear and doubt, rear their ugly heads and they want to talk you out of things, just tell them, not today. Not today, fear. I've got things to do, places to be, and people to see. All right. So that's my message for you tonight. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. And thank you for the heart. I so appreciate it. I appreciate you. And I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Take care and bye for now.